They did it! They did it! Oh my god. I wasn't always the biggest Spider-Man fan, but now I am invested and I want to see more of Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, they did it! Yeah! Where are we going?
We're about to go movies or not?
Do not take your kids to watch this movie.
I like magic.
What the fuck did we just watch?
Half of the fucking movie is about the Joker.
Huh?
But yeah, it's a decent movie.
Hey guys, Run Unchained. Holy crap, I just got out of watching Spider-Man Homecoming, the newest Marvel film that in my opinion, recreates, reintroduces Spider-Man to the whole world in a new, cool, badass, true way, in my opinion. It was an amazing film. Let's see if I could put out the plot of the story. Is that Peter Parker, who after giving a little hand to Team Iron Man in Civil War, is now dealing with the urge and the desire to be a crime fighter the whole time, but also he's got to go to school. He's a high schooler. I think he's a sophomore, and he's just trying to balance out the crime fighting life as the Spider-Man alter ego and Peter Parker, the human being. And while all this balance is going forth and him trying to impress Tony Stark and try to be with the Avengers, a new threat or villain arises that's gonna put some situation to his world, and Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture. And that's about it, the plot or the story that I would give out. So first of all, just go watch this movie. This is awesome. To me, as me not being the world biggest Spider-Man fan, I still think Spider-Man's a cool character. I'm never turned away when he's involved with any character stories, whether it be in the comics, the cartoons, or the films. I don't mind. I'm like, all right, cool, Spider-Man, but I'm not, until now, gone on to, where's Spider-Man? Do we need him? Do we don't? I wasn't into that realm until I saw this film. Granted, I grew up with watching the Sam Raimi films with Tobey Maguire. First two, I remember watching them and they were awesome. I remember seeing the third one. Now I look back at it and but anyways, unfortunately I've seen bits and pieces of the Andrew Garfield films. A lot of my friends went to go see them, but up until that point, that 10 years span, no, 15 year span, Spider-Man was in and out, and it wasn't really focused on it, at least to me in my opinion. And I grew up with the animated series, but that's as far as I would go into Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I would criticize myself for not investing more time into the character, but I just needed the flair to go and seek out and want to learn more about this character. This film does it for me. But let me put off the stuff that I love about this film, because it's mostly positives and some stuff that I won't consider negatives, but it would be nice if they would have done this, done that. But the film itself, I think it's perfect. It's an amazing film. Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, Tom Holland and Michael Keaton, respectively, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, steal the show. They do an amazing job. The little bit of time we spent with Peter, aka Spider-Man, in Civil War blows away in many ways in this film, where I believed in this kid. I believed the struggle he was going through. I wanted him to go past and have a good day without having to balance his friends' relationship, whether it be Ned or being picked on by Flash, and trying to astonish the love of his life in Liz. It was, I felt for the kid. I wanted the kid to do good, and I also wanted him to live out his dream or live out his desire as Spider-Man. But at the same time, he was clumsy. He was a kid. He wasn't thinking right. He was very, not egoistic, just a kid. He was just a kid. He was a high schooler, and I could relate to that. Some stuff that he went through, or some stuff that was said in the film, I could relate to it. I'm like, okay, I'm buying it. It's not, and I'm not trying to criticize the other films or the other interpretations, but just to me is that growing up seeing Peter, aka Spider-Man, mostly through college, at the age I was, I couldn't relate. I'm like, I'm like, wow, adulthood must be that bad if Peter isn't able to make it to Bills after he's graduated out of high school. That sucks. I can't imagine how it's gonna go for me. But high school went okay for me for the most part, but I understood the ups and downs that Peter went through. Adrian Toomes, Vulture. Michael Keaton. I have heard reviews before that the villain in this film is astonishing and developed at least to the fullest. And in my opinion, this is one of the best villains in the MCU or the MNU, Marvel Netflix universe. I put him right there. I put Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, up there with Loki. I put him up there with Kingpin, with Kilgrave, and Obadiah Stane. I could put him up there. What other people? Other villains that I found like, ooh. The Winter Soldier. I could definitely put him up there, and I think that's about it. I mean, Ronan, the Accuser, to a degree, he's a great villain, but Vulture knocks it out of the park, and their significance. And I clearly understand why he chose the route of being a villain. Now, what I love is that when a villain doesn't think he's a villain, he just thinks he's doing the right thing his way. And I see that he's doing it, that he believes that he's doing it the right way, the only way that he thinks he could do. And I'm like, I understand why would you do that, why you would do that. I wouldn't do it, but I understand you. And okay, you're a bad guy. And I love your design. And I love the moments and scenes that him and Peter were talking or fighting about what's in the trailer. But shit, should I not? I won't spoil it, but it's a great scene. But and you should definitely check it out to know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Tom Holland, Michael Keaton knocked it out of the ballpark. One of the concerns that I had in going to the film was, as much as I love Tony Stark, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, I want this to be a Spider-Man movie. I want it to be Iron Man 4 and Spider-Man. No, I want it to be Spider-Man, and then we see a little bit of Iron Man. And it planned out perfectly. Tony was there when he needed, and I would imagine should have been there. That's it. The whole time we're following Peter. We're hoping, he gets to tell Liz that he has some feelings for her. We're hoping that Flash stops picking on him. We're hoping that him and Ned, their friendship lives on forever. And we're there for him to make sure Aunt May doesn't feel too worried about it. But Mr. Stark and Happy Hogan were there just enough to let this story of Peter be bigger than just two characters. So yeah, Robert Downey Jr. and Jon Favreau do an amazing job in this film. Marisa Tomei as May Parker. I'll throw in right now a little bit of gripes but the negativities that I would consider is that for the parts that we got out of May, I thought she was great. She showed that she was there to support Peter, that he was, he should relax a little bit more and not to be stressed out. And also when she was worried, you felt the worriness of a mother figure. She's his aunt, but there's a scene when Peter doesn't answer the phone like 5-6 times during a big battle, and he gets home and Aunt May is there just in tears, wondering where the hell is his nephew, who she's taking care of. She's just worried about him, and all I could think was my mom. Like, God, she would be worried as hell. She would call the cops, the FBI, just to be like, how was I? So, but unfortunately, we didn't get that much of Aunt May, which isn't a bad thing. This is a Peter Parker story, but I just thought that a few more. I always say that when it comes to like little negativities of like spending more time with the character, like 5-10 more minutes. But I think that the timing of the film was fine. The length, there was no drag, which maybe would have dragged. I would have loved a little more of Aunt May, but from what we got, it was perfect enough. And I believe Aunt May's wariness and love for Peter. Let's see, where else? the supporting friends and fellow kids of the school, whether it be Ned, Jacob Batalon, who is Peter's best friend. This is in the trailer. He finds out Peter's Spider-Man, and he's trying to make sure, like, hey, I'm here for you. That you don't have to. You have to do this by yourself. That I could be your ears, and you know I could be the man in the chair, watching, making sure and route you where you should be, where the villain is. And for most parts, Peter would be like, I'll do this by myself. And at one point, okay, let's try it out. And he was there to console Peter about the girls, and at points instigate stuff, which me as a fan or an audience be like, no, Ned, what are you doing? Keep it on the down low. But that was amazing. Zendaya, who plays Michelle, and also Laura Harrier, who plays Liz. I thought that at one side you had a friend or fellow classmate who was very, I don't want to say negative, but just like was like, whatever. I mean, I don't care for him, but why are you late, Peter? Where are you going, Peter? Look at you. This is how sad you are. And then you had Liz, who would show or tinker about like, oh yeah, Spider-Man, I might have a crush on him, or yeah, I know that Peter is the smartest kid in the school, and trying to like bring in Peter close to him, but at the same time, Peter would put the boundaries because I have to be Spider-Man. So I thought that those dynamics of the people around Peter's life in high school was amazing, and so those kids did an awesome job. Also, Tony Revolori, who plays Flash. Revolori, Tony, I think you're a good actor. But you were thick as Flash. You were thick, which is a good thing because he did a performance that I'm like, wow, I liked him. But what an asshole! I'd like, what the fuck, Peter? Like, kick his ass. And at one point, there's a cool moment where Peter gets a little bit of, Tony, Flash gets a little bit of karma, and I was like, yeah, fuck you. but Tony, Laura, Jacob, and Zendaya did a phenomenal job. And I think that's about it. The characters or the actors, I think they did a phenomenal job in bringing these characters to life, and made me want to invest more time in the world of Peter and the people that surround him, or that fill in that universe, that world of his. And there was hints at the future stuff, which I don't want to spoil. But yeah, mostly other than that, it was a great film. A film that is about coming of age that I believe majority of people can identify with. And I did. I think a kid from North Hollywood could identify with a kid from Queens who I wasn't for always the biggest Spider-Man fan, but I'm like, okay, Spider-Man's cool. And now I'm like, yes, Spider-Man, you can do this. Go, and I'll be there to support you. So that was a cool experience to have that revelation of me. One of my favorite moments in the film, or two of them, one of them right now, is the moment that Vulture crushes a building down in Peter. He's down, and he's trying to lift himself up, and you just hear him cry, hear and see him crying for help, someone help me. He looks down at the mask and just hears the comments that or idea that Tony told Peter was that if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. And you hear the quote, and you just hear the Michael Giacchino theme, dun, 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 and you just hear Peter saying, come on, Peter, come on, Spider-Man, and he's trying to lift himself up, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is from an iconic moment in comics where for the majority of an issue, Spider-Man is trapped into something, and he's trying to get himself up, and through monologues and dialogue and thought balloons, you just hear him tell himself, get up, and he tries to get himself up. I thought it was a cool moment of the hero rising and knowing more about, it ain't about the suit, it's about you inside. You yourself could make yourself get out of this mess and be stronger than you could think of, rather than just rely on a suit. So I thought it was an amazing moment. And another cool moment is when he's rescuing his fellow friends from the George Washington Monument, I believe in DC. They're traveling for like a academic tournament. And he's using his wits to like, no, my friends are in danger. And you just see the will to save people he cares about. And even the guy who's addicted, he's like, no, I can't let these people die. I have to go after him because my best friend's in there. And the girl I love is in there, and the will you felt the will out of Spider-Man and Peter Parker to save these people in that very moment at the Washington Monument. But yeah, that's gonna be my review for Spider-Man: Homecoming. Also, another thing that I forgot to give props to, I like to give props to director Jon Watts and also the music composer Michael Giacchino. The feel within the music, the theme, the original Spider-Man theme, was so good that I'm considering buying it. And I felt when you felt the action moments and heroic moments, you listen to music, you're like, yes, I'm in the mood for Spider-Man. And seeing what Jon Watts did, which was, I think, a big thing on his shoulders to reinterpret this character who's had 2 different versions and 2 different franchises in terms of films, and see if he could do what a lot of people thought was impossible, of being true to the character. And I remember he was going for a John Hughes feel of Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Days Off, and there's some references in the film. That's all I'll say. And I think they did a phenomenal job, and I hope they come back for a sequel. I hope they come back for the sequels because they knocked it out of the ballpark. They got great performances, great feels, great moments that, in my eyes, that's what I think of Spider-Man. So great job to Jon Watts and Michael Giacchino. If you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, post any comment down below, and we could agree on stuff that we're like, yes, we like this part, or disagree with stuff we thought. As long as it's respectful, I don't mind it. And hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys in the next video.